Hey guys, I apologize to all 10 of you who care for not uploading for like 2 months. I've been wrapping up my last semester of graduate school along with moving homes, so a lot of time has been spent doing other things, but now we are entering the summer and I look forward to uploading much more consistently than I have been doing so in the past. Do not hold me to this, but I am shooting for weekly uploads, so if you want to hear some interesting retrospectives, predictions, and top whatevers, subscribe and stay tuned. Also, please like this video if you don't mind. I hear YouTube pushes the video a little more when there's better engagement, so I want to try that out and see if this does anything. Now, for the topic of this video, we are going to count down the top 100 players of the 2020 NBA season. I understand that the year was cut off early thanks to you know what, but we were very close to the end anyways. So even if the league does come back to finish off any remaining scheduled games, I will stand put with the rankings I have here. A couple rules to remember as I go through my list. Players who were chronically injured, like Stephen Curry, will not make an appearance. But guys who played at least a dozen or so games may make an appearance. But their lack of games played will be a contributing factor to their overall ranking. Also, remember this is my list. I have not been able to watch every game this year, obviously, so maybe you guys know a few players better than I do, but for the most part, I consider myself a pretty well-rounded NBA fan, so I am confident most of this list you guys will agree with. But please comment below some things you would adjust. And lastly, spoiler alert, Draymond Green is not in my top 100. Sorry to all of you defense first guys, but he was awful this year. So let's get started with part 1, numbers 100 through 51. Number 100, Markelle Fultz. Definitely not where you would expect to see a former number 1 overall pick 3 years into his career, but at least Fultz has been able to stay on the court and orchestrate a somewhat competitive Magic team to a top 8 finish in the East. He still can't shoot, but he sure plays hard. Number 99, Tristan Thompson, a win-now role player center who can rebound with the best of them, but his offensive game and athleticism are very limited. Number 98, Jordan Clarkson, an offensive punch off the bench who is looking great playing alongside his new Jazz teammate. His strengths include his ability to both run an offense or play a scoring role, but overall, his impact to his team's success is moderate. Number 97, Bogdan Bogdanovic. I have been extremely disappointed with the Kings this season, and Bogdanovic is a contributing reason why. He is a serviceable combo guard who has had some very big moments in crunch time, but overall, he is not enough to help bring them to the would-be playoffs. Number 96, Lauri Markkanen. This year was a major step back for Lauri. Along with a less than stellar coach, he was chronically injured all year long. He is still a tall floor spacer who has a ton of potential, but this year was certainly one to forget. Number 95, Mitchell Robinson. The Knicks were an absolute mess this season. After a barrage of bad off-season moves, Robinson found himself wrongfully coming off the bench. He is a monster shot blocker, rebounder, and rim finisher. He led the league in field goal percentage this season. He is definitely on the rise. Number 94, Kyle Kuzma. One of the Lakers' most prized young core members took a major step back this season. Many foresaw him flirting with being an all-star, but in reality, he was a low-efficiency shot creator. Many people, myself included, thought he was going to be traded at the deadline, but at least for now, the Lakers have faith he can bring it back around. Number 93, Duncan Robinson. A three-point marksman on a home court advantage playoff team. A valuable piece that nobody saw making an impact he was able to make this season. The question now is whether or not the late bloomer can keep it up. Number 92, Aaron Baines. Big Body Baines, as my girlfriend calls him. He is a force on both ends of the floor and possesses one of the sweetest three-point shooting touches of any big man in the league. His biggest limitation is his athleticism, but he always manages to get things done. He is a team leader and a fan favorite. Number 91, Jeff Teague. Prior to his trade from the Wolves, Teague was a valuable team leader on the floor. After the trade to the Hawks, he is now more of a veteran bench and locker room guy. Either way, he can shoot, create, and remains not a liability on defense. Number 90, Robert Covington, a defensive hound who was overvalued at the trade deadline. The Rockets mortgaged their season on his ability to defend the rim, which, at least for a short while, was working. A good player who could possibly take a team to the top. Number 89, Eric Paschall, an undersized, limited athlete who has made the best of a crappy situation. Entering the season, he was expected to be a non-factor, but played his way into a starting role thanks to his inside-the-arc offensive abilities. The question is, can he remain relevant on a winning team? Number 88, TJ Warren, an underappreciated offensive stud. Warren is one of the league's best under-the-rim attackers while also putting up an elite three-point shot. If this was an offensive ranking alone, he would be a top 50 player easy. Number 87, Carmelo Anthony. I knew he still had value. He is still a bucket getter and now is hitting his three-point shots at a dangerous clip. Of course, the Blazers team was underwhelming. But apart from that, you guys must give him credit since a year ago, most people thought he was out of the league for good. Number 86, DeJounte Murray. A lot of hype has followed Murray for now 3 years. He's an athletic defensive specialist who is supposed to lead the new era of Spurs basketball. He can still do it, but he needs to figure out what he needs to do to stay on the floor. He is averaging only 24 minutes a game as a starter, nowhere near enough. Number 85, Nemanja Bjelica, a high-impact floor-spacing big who can do a little bit of everything you could want from a power forward. His athleticism holds him back, but he remains a valuable piece to the Sacramento Kings. Number 84, JJ Redick. Learn to shoot like JJ Redick. Does anyone else remember that commercial? Redick is one of the best long-range shooters the NBA has ever seen. 45% from deep with nearly 3 makes per game is remarkable. Number 83, Davis Bertans. Very similar to Redick, except more prolific and quite taller. Bertans has very good size, which helps him on both ends of the floor, and he possesses one of the quickest catch and releases in the league. The Wizards should have moved him while they had the chance, but whatever. Number 82, Tim Hardaway Jr., an elite catch and shoot guy who can also create his own looks when necessary. He is a valuable piece to an incredibly competitive Mavericks team that was looking to make some noise this postseason. Number 81, Kendrick Nunn. Another zero to hero story that shocked the NBA. This 24-year-old rookie has been fantastic on offense for the Heat. For a while early on, he was a legitimate Rookie of the Year candidate. Number 80, Christian Wood. The average fan has no idea who Wood is or what he has done. Well, for most of the year he did not really do a whole lot, but near the end and after the Andre Drummond Pistons era, Wood has blossomed into a legitimate NBA starting big. Next season you will all see what I mean. Number 79, Malcolm Brogdon. A blistering hot start to the season cooled off into the winter, then went completely out due to injury. He remains a talented starting point guard who is on the brink of being a borderline all-star. Number 78, Terry Rozier. The Hornets bet on Rozier and it has not gone so well. But it has not been horrible, we must give him that. Rozier is having his best season in the NBA and is shooting lights out from deep and orchestrating a ragtag offense somewhat respectably. Number 77, Lou Williams. A legend amongst NBA circles for his blistering hot shooting ability and ability to close out games, but this season has not been nearly as impressive in years past. He is still an important piece to a very strong Clippers team. Number 76, Wendell Carter. A young, undersized center who makes up for his lack of height with his valuable floor defense. Carter improved both his offensive game as well as his rebounding this year, and I am confident he will take another step forward next season. Let me go get the dog. Okay, my dog is in my lap now, so if you can hear her struggling because she wants food, that's what that noise is. Number 75, Steven Adams. A simple big man on a good team. Adams rebounds, defends the rim, and can move his feet. His offensive game is limited, but his on-court impact cannot be overlooked. He is one of the league's most respected centers for a reason. Kelly. Number 74. Stop it, Kelly. Lonzo Ball. Major steps were being taken post-All-Star break for the former big baller. But as it stands, Lonzo has an exceptionally good floor game, especially when it comes to his on-ball defense and passing. What remains his biggest weakness is his inability to create accurate shots for himself, but I see him trending up. Number 73, Aaron Gordon. The Magic have been patiently waiting for Gordon to take the next step towards being an all-star for quite a while now. Unfortunately, it does not seem like he has it in him. Either way, Gordon has matured into a team-leading forward capable of scoring and rebounding at a dependable rate. Kelly, stop it. Just stop, just lay. She's so weird. Why can't you just relax? If I had a camera right now, you guys would be able to see what Kelly's doing. Number 72, Colin Sexton. Though he has developed a bad rap for being immature and lacking the team-leading mentality needed by a point guard, Sexton has developed into a talented scorer who can shoot at a very high efficiency. Number 71, Eric Bledsoe. The starting point guard on the NBA's best team. Bledsoe is far more willing to defer to his all-star teammates than he has in past years, and it is paying off. I am not a Bledsoe fan, but you cannot deny that he has been an impactful player on both ends of the floor, when he wants to. Number 70, Devonte Graham. A most improved player candidate who is keeping the Hornets somewhat relevant. He is an excellent long-range shooter, as well as being a terrific floor general. I look forward to seeing what he can become alongside a more talented supporting cast. Aww. Number 69, Kevin Love. A high-efficiency shooter with a high basketball IQ that enables him to rebound at a very high rate. He should have been dealt at the trade deadline, but the Cavaliers decided they wanted him for their future plans, so let's see what that leads to. Number 68, Fred VanVleet. One of the most underrated players in the NBA. He has looked fantastic playing alongside Kyle Lowry with the Raptors. He can pull up from deep or run the show at a high rate when necessary. He is a major factor for the defending NBA champions. Number 67, Derrick Rose. He has hit his second win. Rose is a beloved team leader who can score and orchestrate with the best of them. He has a handful of big games this season in which he carried his mediocre Pistons team to victory. I really wished they would have dealt him at the trade deadline so he could chase a ring, but there's always next year. Number 66, Julius Randle. A disappointing season in my eyes, but at the same time he is still easily a top 100 player. The Knicks team was a mess, so nobody looked great, but he kept up his bucket-getting ability while remaining a monster on the glass. Next year, he will hopefully correct those efficiency numbers. Number 65, Serge Ibaka. A terrific team-leading power forward who brings value to his team on both ends of the court. Ibaka is a sharpshooter and rim attacker who can rebound and protect the glass. He is another important piece to the Raptors machine. Number 64, Dennis Schroeder. A high-energy and smart backup point guard who would be a starting point guard on most other teams. Schroeder is an amazing scoring machine off the bench who plays with a lot of heart on both ends of the floor. This season, he even added a killer three-point touch to his arsenal. Number 63, Evan Fournier, one of the NBA's better point forwards. Fournier can score or move the basketball with the best of them. He is one of the brightest spots on the Magic team, keeping them relevant. Despite this, however, I think it would have been the organization's best interest to have traded him at the deadline for assets. Number 62, Montrezl Harrell. A sixth man of the year candidate who attacks the rim with speed and strength rarely seen. He has grown so much as a basketball player over the years and now finds himself playing big minutes on one of the NBA's best teams. He may be undersized vertically, but he makes up for that with his muscle mass. Number 61, Ricky Rubio. One of my favorite point guards in the NBA. He is the smartest active player you will find, thanks to his unrivaled court vision, passing, and leadership abilities. What holds him back is his shot-making ability, but he has shown flashes of greatness with the shooting touch this season. Number 60, Gordon Hayward. The athleticism is definitely gone, but the sweet shooting touch remains. Hayward may not make any highlight reels anymore, but he is flirting with the 50-40-90 club, putting up 17 a night with an excellent floor game on a home court advantage playoff team. Yeah, that's pretty good. Number 59, Kelly Oubre. One of my favorite players for a variety of reasons. Oubre is an ultra competitive and aggressive offensive player who will throw the ball down on your head if you're not careful. But he also has a soft touch from long range. His energy is infectious as games always get louder and more physical when he is on the floor. His teammates, coaches, and fans love him for a reason. Number 58, Marcus Morris. A sharpshooter who can bully smaller defenders to create his own looks. With the Knicks, Morris was an all-star candidate. With the Clippers, he is a championship contender. His addition to the team was monumental, but now we can only hope we get to see what was to play out. Number 57, Goran Dragic, one of my favorite NBA players of all time and another 6th Man of the Year candidate. Dragic can attack the rim, pull from deep, play solid defense, or create for others. His Heat team is chasing greatness and he is an integral piece to their success. I personally do not see why he does not just start, but whatever. Number 56, Spencer Dinwiddie. Basically the Nets starting point guard, but also a valuable 6th man when necessary. Dinwiddie can create for himself or others and is carrying his injury-plagued team into the playoffs. If he wanted to be a full-time starter on another team, he definitely could, but he seems to enjoy where he is and playing with the guys he plays with. Number 55, Jaren Jackson Jr. Some NBA YouTubers think Triple J is a top 2 player in his draft class. Sorry, but no. But this kid is still playing awesome. He is a crazy effective scorer and very talented rim protector. He is only 20 years old and the Grizzlies are definitely on the rise, so I and many others are eager to see just how much he can grow and improve. Number 54, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Another pleasant surprise this season. Shai earned a starting role and he has played well enough alongside his fellow top 100 teammates to push the Thunder into the playoff picture. He is a talented scorer, both off the dribble and in the catch and shoot, as well as also being a surprisingly gifted rebounder. Number 53, De'Aaron Fox. An amazing young point guard who is an elite defender, good passer, and great rim attacker. His three-point shooting took a step back and his overall team success was not there this year, but at only 22 years old, I see him getting back on track next season. Number 52, Danilo Gallinari. One of the league's best jump shooters from both mid-distance and long range. Gallinari is a winner in his prime. He proved to the world what he can do last season with the Clippers, and now he continues to build with the Thunder. Basketball analysts, myself included, doubted him, but here we are. And rounding out this video, number 51, Andrew Wiggins. Horrendously overpaid and overhyped, but still talented to a degree. Wiggins is a bucket getter, and not much else. His efficiencies are fine, his floor game is quiet, and his overall team leadership is pretty much non-existent. But I am curious to see what happens alongside his new teammate Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. So there is part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment what I got wrong, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.